So I guess it's just after 11, so I guess we'll get going with this week's update. Sharing my screen. So welcome to the update on the Vernon Avenue and Highway 100 Interchange project, meeting number 11, and we're recording this and it'll be posted later on. So no Chad this week, he's out on PTO, but my name's Derek Houston. I'm the project representative for this. So once again, just want to thank everyone for their patience. We know there's a lot of traffic out there. Just want to remind everyone, businesses are open and accessible. There's going to be noise, dust, vibrations, and other construction-related stuff going on. And please, please, please stop for pedestrians in the crosswalks and be courteous to fellow drivers. Just a reminder, we recommend using the crosswalk at Vernon and Eden instead of the Eden mid-block crossing. Could be safer when there's busy traffic. So project goals and timeline. I go over this every week, but it's always nice to touch on. Improve safety and mobility for all users. Separate pedestrian routes. Improve traffic operations. Consolidate Highway 100 access points. Improve connectivity between residential and commercial areas of the district. And enhance viability with improved access. So here, once again, it's just an overview of the project. We've got over here on the left-hand side of the screen, this is the Interlochen Vernon intersection, over the railroad, all the way over 100, ramps associated with that, and over towards the Grange Road. And so, right, if you're here, you're with us on some communications, but there's a bunch of other good resources we have, like Better Together Edina, and we've been doing press releases, different email updates, updating our website. So getting into construction. So the intersection at Interlochen and Vernon is largely done. Right now, traffic is flowing about how it's described on here. They poured back concrete median in this area. So right now on Vernon, it's separated depending if you're going eastbound or westbound, but it's still a free-flowing turn here. And now I know this is an update that lots of people are interested in, the Excel power line update. Long story short is there's not a whole lot of progress on this. We know that Excel and the railroad and their permitting are communicating, but there's still no permit to the state. So it is a major impact to the schedule and cost, and it's something the project team is very concerned about. So we're trying to keep you in the loop with the best we know, and that really is all we know at this point, right? The original agreement was for an overhead line, and this is obviously buried here. This was from back in May. So it's a big concern of the project. We're going to keep moving forward, and we're still pushing them, doing everything we can, but it's really between Excel and the railroad that we don't have much we can do there. So moving on to what our configuration is right now. So this is the 28th, we closed the northbound ramp onto 100 off of Grange. And it's still like that today. They're working over there and installing noise wall posts as we speak. And so we've been getting a lot of concerns about the traffic over at Benton Avenue. It's how a lot of people are getting onto northbound. And so we've heard your concerns and we are taking steps to address it. The Benton Avenue ramp, so there's a meter right here. And we initially, 2 weeks ago, we updated it to increase the volume that it would allow onto the freeway. And I talked to MnDOT again this morning. They're going to up it again today. And with school starting next week, we're going to continue to monitor and see if we can make any adjustments. I understand that traffic is backing up a lot into the neighborhoods, and we are exploring anything we can do over there to alleviate some of that congestion. Another topic we've been hearing a lot about is the construction on Highway 100 between, I should say, 77th and 50th Street. I just want to iterate that this is a MnDOT project and it's not related to our work at the Vernon Interchange. They're doing some overhead sign work and they've reduced the lanes. They've taken the center lane out, northbound and southbound. And part of that is because it's an overhead sign, it's sitting on the median. So in order to get at it, they need to have the lane going both ways closed. So it's a MnDOT project and it's anticipated to last until September 3rd. You can see updates from that from MnDOT 511. Got their website here. And if you want to reach out to MnDOT, you can reach out to their public affairs, and they might be able to give you more updates. Oh, one thing I did want to touch on is I know people are saying, the lane is up, the lane closure is up all the time. Something to keep in mind is that it costs money every time you put it up and take it down. So I'm sure that's one of their considerations in leaving it up. So this week, we've got the 50th and Grange intersection closed right here. And it's just for Wednesday through Friday this week. They're doing a big pull for the new water main that's going under Highway 100. So this intersection is closed, but everyone can take the detour on Eden. If you're coming off the northbound ramp, you're just going to be funneled straight over to Eden to get where you're going. And you can see in this picture in the bottom right here, this is actually HDPE casing that's laid out all the way past City Hall that they're going to pull through with directional bore. So they're going to pull it from this side over all the way on the other side of 100. And that'll go through Friday. It'll be up to normal operations after that. City Hall is still accessible. Please use the Eden Avenue or Grange entrances. I think we alluded to this a little bit last time, but we're getting ready to do some more ramp work and ramp closures. So we're still trying to nail down the date with the contractor, but it'd be either September 8th or 15th is the tentative plan. That'd be closing the northbound off-ramp and the southbound off-ramp. So we're expecting a lot of traffic to get diverted elsewhere, including Benton Avenue. We're going to continue to monitor that situation, see if there's anything we can do to improve it. One thing to note is that the southbound on-ramp will remain open. And coming up in the first week of September, there's some night work planned. They're going to be setting beams for the bridge. So that's really exciting. They're thinking they'll do northbound first. So it'll take 2 nights for them to set the girders. And then they'll switch over and do the southbound for another 2 nights. It's notable that that'll be a regional detour where it'll go, instead of going through Highway 100, you'll go 169 to 394 and 62. So going on this week in the area as well, this is not related to our project. It's related to building here at 5100 Eden. It's being redeveloped by the Opus. They are putting up Jersey barrier and fencing along this side of the street. And so the pedestrian detour is going around. And along Arcadia, they're adding a temporary sidewalk there. So I saw them this morning, they're paving. I'm expecting that to get wrapped up soon. Now onto some pictures. It's my favorite part, showing you all the updates. I know upper left here, this was back when they were still forming the footing, maybe 2 months ago. And then down here at the bottom, as it's partially completed. And over at the right here, this was taken yesterday. Abutment is substantially complete here. They've stripped all their forms. You can see the retaining wall in the background. We've got Devani's over here on the right, Hawthorne Court over here. And they're starting to backfill. You can see this excavator is actually right behind the abutment. So it's really coming up. And here's the intersection at Vernon and Interlochen. You can see we still got our free turns going here. Vernon on the left, Interlochen on the right. Caribou in the background. And you can see the median here that splitting traffic. Over here on the left, just want to highlight the Edina liquor store again. It's back open for business. We've got our bike racks installed there. Hope everyone goes and visits. Over on the right-hand side here, right-hand side of the page here, this was from 2 weeks ago at the bottom. This is a retaining wall coming off the wing wall at the east side of 100. You can see Washburn McCreevy in the background. And this was yesterday up at the top. They've poured the retaining wall. And as of today, they're starting to backfill up here, adding in dirt and compacting it, bringing it up to grade. Very exciting. Over here, this is a retaining wall. This is the Hawthorne Court condos. This was several weeks ago when they'd poured every other. And this was yesterday. They poured the last segment of the retaining wall, which is very exciting. They've got, on top of this, these posts here are dowels for the noise wall. So that's steel reinforcement that will go up. And beyond, I know you might want to look at these to get a visual idea of how tall the noise wall will be. Just know that the noise wall will go taller than that, probably about 15 feet, give or take, from the top of these steel dowels. So here's over at the west abutment of the Highway 100 bridge. This was 2 weeks ago, footing for the retaining wall over here. And then this was yesterday, fully constructed. Really moving along. They're getting on backfill in here today as well. Here's the railroad bridge again. This is some of the backfill I was talking about. You can see down at the bottom here where it started, and they do it in lifts and compact it, move it all the way up. And now they're starting to backfill along that retaining wall along the Hawthorne Court Apartments. Over here is the Devani's and the Holiday Store Caribou background for a little bit of perspective. And here we're looking at the northbound ramp that's closed under construction. You can see they have a stockpile over here on the left side. On the right side, they've created this kind of, we call it a bench. That's where where their work zone is, so they can get their equipment over. Down here, there's a crane and a dredging equipment, which is hard to see in this picture, but over here, you can see this was the first noise wall post that was installed. And so this area is down by Minnehaha Creek, and they're going to work their way up towards 50th and City Hall. I just want to wrap up again. Here's some of the initial renderings, and it's really exciting to see that the project looks just like these. It's really fun to see it actually coming along. So yeah, with that, open up to questions. Again, my name is Derek Houston. I've got my email here, and we've got our next meeting in 2 weeks, and Chad should be back for that. So I'll start going through the chat. Read any questions. I'll do the best I can. First question I'm seeing from Darren. Will there be pillars, beams for support underneath the new Vernon Avenue Bridge like the old one, or will be abutments, retaining walls on each side? So I'd say there's abutments on each side. It's a single span. So if we're looking at this bridge here over 100, I think what you're getting at is this thing in the center is called a pier. And on the railroad bridge, there will not be a pier. So it'll just be an abutment on each side and then beams going across that will hold up the deck. Can you tell me anything is being done about the traffic control on Eden? Well, so I think you're probably getting at backups in traffic. There's going to be a lot of traffic, unfortunately. It's one of the necessary evils of having construction, but we all want nice roads. If you have any ideas, we're all ears. We're monitoring it, and we're going to be taking an extra deep look at it next week with school starting. Ryan, when they work on the west side of the rail bridge, Where will they have the work area? Well, a large part of their area is going to be right on top of the abutment, next to the Holiday Center or the Holiday gas station. That's why if you walk over there, there is a decent amount of area that's untouched, and they left a little bit extra to give themselves room. So that and that closed area of Gus Young is for the contractor to be working in. There is a covered pathway trail with trees looking towards the north, leading up to Vernon Avenue Bridge between Holiday Drive and that gorge where the railroad sits below. Will that trail still be accessible once the new bridge over the train tracks is complete? So I believe that's the trail I'm thinking of coming up from 49th and kind of Brookside area. That's not an officially sanctioned trail, and that is on railroad property. So that is nothing the city can do about that. From Barb, traffic's getting worse on Eden. What is the trigger you're looking for as you monitor that would indicate something will be done to create more controls? Well, I guess if you have ideas, we're all ears. To an extent, there's only so much we can do. That is a major detour on Eden from Vernon, and there's a lot of traffic there with school. So if you have any ideas, we're all ears. Please let us know.
Hey, Derek. I don't want to interrupt you, but I think you're looking at
Sorry, did
questions
someone
from
say
the.
something?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can
Not
you hear
hearing
me?
anything.
Okay, I'll do it in the chat.
Just curious, but when were
I can hear you.
both the old Vernon Avenue and Highway 100 bridges built? I want to say around the 50s, but don't quote me on that.
Is he looking at old
I
questions?
think so.
Yeah,
'cause I'm not
I think
seeing them.
I
Oh,
think he's
shoot.
reading
I didn't
the
realize I
old.
scrolled too far up in the meeting.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
It's okay.
Okay,
June,
that was what I was trying to tell
who's got
him.
the first question from today.
It was John Crabtree.
Hold with
John
me one
Crabtree.
second. Okay, I believe John Crabtree's
Yeah.
question from today. Whether we plan to finish the project in 2025. If we do, what is the drop dead date for an agreement between Excel and CPKC? Well, I'd say we're gonna do everything we can to finish it this year. That's what we want to do. Everybody does, contractor included. I wouldn't say we have a drop dead date. It's once we have more information, that's when we can really evaluate our options, which unfortunately, as I shared earlier, there's not a whole lot of an update. So, curious to know, will the Grange Road 50th stoplight be removed? And will one be put where Highway 100 North exists on the 50th? So the light at Grange will remain. And yes, I believe one's added at the on-ramps over there. All the traffic shifted onto Eden in mid-September. What is the traffic control plan? So Bill's question about all the traffic on Eden and with school starting, it's something we're going to take a look at with school starting and with the ramps closed. We're not totally sure how it's going to be impacted. Looking into manual control is something we will look at, but I don't have an answer on if that will happen. Would definitely say if you're traveling in the area, give yourself extra time and expect there to be traffic. And please be patient. Can the city provide marketing promotion efforts to encourage people to patronize local businesses despite all the construction going on? That's something I can bring up with Chad and other members of the city. But I don't have an answer for that right now. Yeah, we can look at some of the roundabout controls too, with traffic. So yes, Roy's asking about drop dead date and when the contract, how much time the contractor would need. Right, there's a lot of options though. It's asking the contractor to work more hours or different winter conditions. But it's something we really don't want to hypothesize about this far in advance, with all the unknowns, kind of getting the buggy in front of the horse. All really great questions. Let's give a few more minutes. If anyone's got any other questions, put them in the chat. Thanks, Bill. Yep. We enjoy these updates too. It's fun getting all the progress out to everyone, keeping everyone in the loop. Alrighty. So I guess with that, not seeing any other questions, feel free to reach out to me or Chad with any other questions. He's on PTO for this week and next week, but we're happy to help and answer any questions you have. So thanks, everyone.